القرآن حبل نجاتنا فتمسكي بعراه كي لا نغرقا.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to GlobalAid Trust QFactor with myself as your host, Qari Murshid Habib. Alhamdulillah, we have reached day 6 of our journey already within our quarterfinals, where Alhamdulillah, as you have already seen, my beloved viewers, that we have had a number of reciters from all across the UK coming to recite beautifully from the Quran in this competition, brought to you, of course, by GlobalAid. Before I go to my students who, of course, are here and ready to recite, I must take a moment, inshallah, to introduce my judges, who, of course, are here, as always, to find the best of reciters amongst us. Of course, they require no introduction, but of course, for the purpose of my viewers, inshallah, I will take a moment to introduce them to you. On my left, inshallah, I have Sheikh Farooq Hussain. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Ustaz.
Assalamu wa rahmatullah.
Jazakallahu khairan for being with us today.
Barakallahu feek.
Alhamdulillah, of course, many of you know him as, of course, one of our local teachers, having taught Quran and, of course, many other Islamic sciences for a number of years amongst us in our community. On my right, I have, of course, my regular judge. Of course, many of you know him as Sheikh Mishkat. Alhamdulillah, we have the privilege of having him with us today, of course, to help us with the students' recitation, of course. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Jazakallahu khairan for being with us today, Sheikh.
Barakallahu feek.
Alhamdulillah. So, my judges, of course, they seem to have smiles waiting ready for the contestants, of course, who will be reciting in a very short time. But let's take a moment to introduce my live audience, who I also have with me, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Jazakumullahu khairan for everyone being with us today. I am hoping that you have a good show as much as I enjoy the show, inshallah. As you can see, my audience are ready, my judges are ready, and of course my Qurra are waiting very patiently, also ready. But before I start introducing them to come up and recite, let me take, inshallah, a few minutes to give the basic outline of what QFactor is, of course, for those who are interested in knowing the layout of the competition. Of course, this is a competition, like I mentioned, brought to you by GlobalAid Trust. And the purpose of this competition is to find the best of talent in the recitation of the Quran amongst our community. The quarterfinal consists of each reciter reciting a maximum of 2 minutes from the Quran. The judges will pick for them a part for them to recite from, and they will, of course, be reciting from that part. When they are reciting, they will be marked down on any major mistakes, any lahn jani mistakes, and of course, any minor mistakes, any lahn khafi mistakes. But of course, as always, my contestants are always reciting to the best of their ability, so I'm sure they won't be making any mistakes. Let's take, inshallah, a very few brief minutes to talk to my judges, inshallah, before I head straight away to my contestants. Sheikh Farooq, inshallah. Ustaz, alhamdulillah, of course, we're on day 6 now. It's already been a few days within our competition where every day seems to be getting stronger and getting stronger. What are your expectations to be seeing towards the quarterfinals? Of course, we are seeing some fantastic students going through. What are you expecting from them, I guess, in the next round, inshallah?
Jazakallahu khairan.
Barakallahu feek.
I hope that, inshallah, I always have a hope that today is going to be the better day than yesterday.
Inshallah.
So I hope that, inshallah, those people are coming here, we will be really surprised and will be really impressed with the recitation of those contestants, inshallah.
Inshallah.
And let's see how it goes. But inshallah, hopefully, I have a very good impression always of the students. And recitation is always really absolutely, what can I say, is enjoyable. And Quran recitation, when you're going to listen to it, when reciting, listening, both are really rewarded. So we hope that, inshallah, we'll be getting reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Inshallah.
And those people are coming here, they will have very courage and then very good recitation, inshallah. Hopefully we'll enjoy.
Inshallah. Jazakallahu khairan to you, Sheikh Farooq. And of course, Sheikh Mishkat, of course, you were here with Sheikh Farooq on day 4 when Sheikh Farooq made the prediction, of course, that day would be a fantastic day. But of course, you are here on day 5, and now day 6, where you are seeing that the competition seemed to have exceeded the levels of the previous days. Are you expecting the level of competition to rise again today?
Inshallah, I'm expecting the competition to increase more and more. Just thinking about the last couple of shows that we've had, alhamdulillah. Obviously, those of you that have been also watching the program, you've been picking up on a lot of maybe recommendations or things that we have been as judges been advising. So one thing to watch out for, especially for the next round, and those viewers that are watching. So alhamdulillah, I really do think that definitely there will be an improvement, and there always is, alhamdulillah. So inshallah, we look forward to it today, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Everybody, inshallah, will be rewarded.
Barakallahu feekum to both my judges. Alhamdulillah, I think some very good beneficial advice, and of course some good words for my contestants who are of course waiting. So inshallah, without any further delay, I will call upon my first contestant of today, my first Qari of today. Without, if I could kindly invite Rashid Muhammad to join me on stage, inshallah. Bismillah. Alhamdulillah, Rashid Muhammad, only 11 years of age. Of course, many of you may remember him from our last series, our first series, where of course he went all the way to the grand final due to the level of effort he put in. But of course, like any competition, he is here again to show that he can keep up the level of courage that he placed within last year. Inshallah, before I start listening to Rashid, let's take a moment to talk to Rashid's family. If I could talk to Rashid's family first. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum salam.
Jazakallahu khairan for being with us today, and of course bringing Rashid. Of course, last year we had the privilege of listening to Rashid, and alhamdulillah, he recited, I guess, to a substantial level of beauty. And of course, my judges are waiting, my beloved viewers at home are expecting more. Has Rashid been putting in the level of effort to be coming back for a second year and taking on the challenge?
We expect a lot of improvement from last year.
Alhamdulillah.
And that's the purpose of coming here.
Of course.
And we try to motivate Rashid, and we try to learn lesson from the last year so that we can have a better competition this year.
Alhamdulillah. So he has been putting in the level of effort that he needs to be for this season.
Of course, yeah.
Alhamdulillah, that's good to hear. Jazakallahu khairan to you. Inshallah, let's see if Rashid's family have been saying good words for the right reasons. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Rashid.
Alaikum salam.
How are you feeling today?
Alhamdulillah.
You're not nervous, are you?
No.
Okay, because this is an old game for you, isn't it? You're used to competitions now, so I'm sure that you will be putting in your best of efforts to, inshallah, try to maintain some of the positions that you have held in other competitions. If I could kindly turn to Sheikh Mishkat, inshallah, to kindly pick a part for Rashid to recite from.
Bismillah. Rashid, I'd like you to recite from part number 3, please.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إنا فتحنا لك فتحا مبينا ليغفر لك الله ما تقدم من ذنبك وما تأخر ويتم نعمته عليك ويهديك صراطا مستقيما وينصرك الله نصرا عزيزا. هو الذي أنزل السكينة في قلوب المؤمنين ليزدادوا إيمانا مع إيمانهم ولله جنود السماوات والأرض وكان الله عليما حكيما. ليدخل المؤمنين والمؤمنات جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها ويكفر عنهم سيئاتهم وكان ذلك عند الله فوزا عظيما ويعذب المنافقين والمنافقات والمشركين والمشركات الظانين بالله ظن السوء عليهم دائرة السوء وغضب الله عليهم ولعنهم وأعد لهم جهنم وساءت مصيرا.
Very well delivered, of course, reciting from Surah Al-Fath. Inshallah, if I can kindly turn to Sheikh Mishkat to kindly give some brief feedback on Brother Rashid's recitation.
MashaAllah, well done to you, alhamdulillah. Very, very beautiful recitation. I have to say that he has tried really hard. You can see he's really trying, especially with the pronunciation of the letters. So alhamdulillah, you're trying hard, and you can see that, you know, with your the loudness, the clarity, mashallah. But sometimes when you're reciting, just be careful. Like obviously, when you're concentrating so much on reciting, don't try not to forget or get stuck with the verses. So inshallah, that's through practice, and alhamdulillah, you've come forward. Alhamdulillah, well done to you, mashallah. Just a small advice to you regarding some of the ayat. So when you recited your ta mustaqima, you elongated it a little bit too much. So you say mustaqima, you know, just with one stretch of haraka. And also when you there are other parts, like for example adh-dhannina billahi, dhannina. If you just make the nasal sound there, then it will be more beautiful, inshallah. So very small things, and be careful about your dal. Okay, junud, dal, and it's not da. You know, just try to be careful about that. Just those three things.
Barakallahu feek to you, Sheikh.
Alhamdulillah, well done to you. Very loud and very clear. You really tried. I can see you put your effort, but just be careful about the when you're reciting, trying so much, but then not losing out as well. So, you know, like getting stuck and things like that.
Barakallahu feek to you, Sheikh Mishkat. I think some good advice for Rashid to take on board. Always, of course, there's room for improvement. I'm sure you know that, Rashid, and I'm sure you'll be taking those things on board, inshallah. Yes?
Yes.
Inshallah. Jazakallahu khairan to you, Rashid. You can kindly return to your seat now. Alhamdulillah, a very good, strong start to the show today with some very strong competition already building up. But of course, we always have more surprises up the alley. So inshallah, if I could kindly invite my next qari'ah, in this case, if I could invite Nishat Jahangir to come and join me on stage, inshallah. Alhamdulillah, Nishat only 9 years of age, but of course, like all my contestants who come every day looking as confident, but coming all the way from Luton today to show off her skills in the Quran, but of course for the right reasons, and I'm sure she will deliver in the best of manners. If we can take a minute to talk to Nishat's family, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Alhamdulillah, jazakallahu khairan for coming all the way from Luton to join us today. Alhamdulillah, of course, Nishat only 9 years of age, but seems to be working hard to come all the way to the quarterfinals. Has she been practicing a lot during her spare time?
She's 10 this year. Last year she was 9.
She's 10. Okay, mashallah.
But she was practicing a lot. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Alhamdulillah.
And mainly she was learning with her mom.
Mashallah, mashallah. This sometimes happens, but of course, This is very good to hear. And is she trying to memorize from the Quran at the same time?
Yes, she did. She is on her 4th juz.
MashaAllah. So 10 years old and already having memorized 4 juz. I'm sure you will encourage her to keep going with this. Jazakallahu khairan to you. Alhamdulillah, as you can see, of course, a very young of age, but making sure they're making the best of all the benefits of the Quran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah to you, Nishat.
Wa alaikum salam.
How are you doing today?
Alhamdulillah.
Feeling confident?
Yeah.
Good to hear, inshallah. If I could turn to Sheikh Farooq, and Sheikh Farooq, if you could kindly pick a place for our young sister Nishat to recite from.
Okay, Nishat, could you recite from part 1, please?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام ميم ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين الذين يؤمنون بالغيب ويقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون والذين يؤمنون بما أنزل إليك وما أنزل من قبلك وبالآخرة هم يوقنون أولئك على هدى من ربهم وأولئك هم المفلحون إن الذين كفروا سواء عليهم أأنذرتهم أم لم تنذرهم لا يؤمنون ختم الله على قلوبهم وعلى سمعهم وعلى أبصارهم غشاوة ولهم عذاب عظيم.
MashaAllah, very melodiously recited. Let's go to Sheikh Farooq, inshallah, for some very brief feedback on Nishat's recitation, inshallah.
Alhamdulillah, Nishat, Jazakallah khair, MashaAllah. You did recite it really well. Allahu Akbar. May Allah accept your recitation. And all of us, we did enjoy recitation. Very nice recitation, MashaAllah. Just only a few points, just I have noted down for you. Is, you know, there are the way you recite it, that sometimes you have to just move a bit forward. For example, high voice, just a bit low all the way, you recite it the same way. Sometimes you have to up a bit, and sometimes it low and the medium. The 3 things you have to remember. For example, wama, you recited wama. When you say so, wama, meme with fatha is going to be a bit up. You say wama, but wama unzila, wama. You see, your voice goes up a bit. Wama. If you say wama, then it is low voice. And hudam min rabbihim, as you know, the raw is really, I always point out this one. Raw is mufakham and murakkak. As you know, the mufakham, have you heard of it? No. It's sometimes heavy voice and sometimes light, and sometimes heavy full mouth and sometimes light empty mouth. Okay. So hudam min rabbihim, this is going to be the empty. And a'anzartahum is the raw. Again, fatha followed by raw sakin is going to be heavily pronounced. You have to make the people understand, yes, you have done it. So it was, you have done it, but it was not that much clearly understood. Okay. These points, if you just look into and practice on this, I'm sure your recitation will be much better. So thank you so much. We hope that inshallah you will be one of the successful. We can't make any judgment now. So far I can say that alhamdulillah it's good. Thank you so
Barakallahu
much.
feek
We
to
see,
you.
let's see how it goes. Thank you so much.
Barakallahu feek to you, Sheikh Farooq. Alhamdulillah. Thank you very much, Nishat. Jazakallahu khairan for your recitation. You're very eager to go back to your seat, but I just wanted to ask you, how do you feel after that? Do you still think that you did very well?
Yes.
Inshallah, I hope that you have done so. And now, inshallah, you can kindly return to your seat. Jazakallahu khairan to you,
Very
Nishat.
confident.
MashaAllah, like I did say previously, the competition is only getting stronger and more fierce as it goes. So if I can kindly invite my third Qari of today, inshallah, if I can invite Umar Rahman to come and join me on stage, inshallah. Umar, only 9 years of age, but of course looking very confident like all his contestants, even those who are older than him. Let's take a minute to talk to Umar's family now, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
MashaAllah, Jazakallahu khairan for bringing Umar with you today to allow us to listen to his recitation. Alhamdulillah, Umar, only 9 years of age, but of course looks very confident. Is he as confident as he looks?
Mashallah, I should say Umar is a gift for us from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
And from the very beginning of his life, he was very confident.
Mashallah.
He did all the things by himself. We did not know that he was participating in this program. He made him by himself.
Subhanallah.
And when I heard it, I was so surprised. Alhamdulillah, he did try his best.
MashaAllah.
And he's dedicated in everything, whatever he likes.
MashaAllah.
That is very, very positive.
And he puts lots of effort what he wants to do. Thank you.
Jazakallah khairan. I think you've left me stunned to know that our young 9-year-old brother, he didn't, of course, for the sake of Allah, he didn't even, I guess in this case, seek his parents' permission. Rather, he called up to this competition to enter himself. And alhamdulillah, by the sake of Allah, Allah, of course, seeing the clarity of his efforts, he is now in the quarterfinal joining us today, inshallah. Umar, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum assalam.
How are you feeling today?
I'm confident, but I'm feeling quite nervous.
You're feeling quite nervous. Why are you feeling nervous? You're not sure?
Yeah.
Do the judge look scary?
No.
No, they're not scary. So you have nothing to worry about, inshallah. I'm sure you'll be fine. So if I can ask, inshallah, Sheikh Mishkat to kind of pick a part for young Umar to recite from, inshallah.
Umar, I'd like you to recite from part 1, please. Part 1.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لله ما في السماوات وما في الأرض وإن تبدوا ما في أنفسكم أو تخفوه يحاسبكم به الله فيغفر لمن يشاء ويعذب من يشاء والله على كل شيء قدير آمن الرسول بما أنزل إليه من ربه والمؤمنون كل آمن بالله وملائكته وكتبه ورسله لا نفرق بين أحد من رسله وقالوا سمعنا وأطعنا غفرانك ربنا وإليك المصير لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها لها ما كسبت وعليها ما اكتسبت ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين.
Astaghfirullah al-Azim, MashaAllah. Umar, only 9 years of age, but reciting confidently by memory from passage of Surah Al-Baqarah. MashaAllah. Sheikh Mishkat, your thoughts on his recitation, inshaAllah.
MashaAllah, Alhamdulillah, really pleased and so happy to see you come up here, especially hearing about how you've called in and come in. MashaAllah, well done to you. You recited really well, Alhamdulillah, and I think there's a couple of small things that we all need to improve upon and we need to work on, inshallah. So I think one thing that you can improve on, just a small piece of advice, I think you recited well today. You've come up here and you've recited with confidence and you weren't nervous. I think you weren't nervous. And I think you need to just bear in mind, you need to practice your makharij, some of your letters, and how the sound of a particular letter, you know, how it comes out the right way, inshallah. You can work on those things. So for example, when you say a'udhu, okay, it's dhal, yeah? Dhal and not a'udhu. A'udhu, dhal. And also ar-rahim, okay? Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, ha. It's not ha, rahim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, with ha, okay? And just a couple of rules of idgham or tanween and ghunna. For example, making sound with the nose. You need to learn and practice more, inshallah, the rules of ghunna.
Inshallah, barakallahu feek.
I think just those three things, if you work on those, inshallah, you have great potential, inshallah. You've come up here, you phone next time with the parents' support, inshallah, he'll come forward.
Barakallahu feek, inshallah.
Barakallahu feek.
Barakallahu feek to you, Sheikh Mishkat. Alhamdulillah, some very good advice for a 9-year-old brother. And I'm sure Omar will be practicing on those things, will you not? Yeah. Inshallah. If I can ask Omar to sit there for a minute, inshallah, I will be taking a very short break, but join me again after the break on GlobalAid Trust QFactor, where we still have a number of more Qur'an to listen to, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
يا أمتي القرآن حبل نجاتنا فتمسكي بعراه كي لا نغرقا.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to GlobalAid Trust QFactor, where we went on a very short break, but of course we are back waiting patiently to listen to the rest of our Qur'an. Without any further delay, I will go to my first Qariya of this segment, inshallah. I will, of course, invite Jumaina Islam, who has already joined us on stage. But inshallah, before I go to Jumaina to listen to her recitation, let's take a few brief seconds, inshallah, to talk to her family who have come all the way from Hitchin in Hertfordshire to join us today. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Jazakallahu khairan for coming here. I'm sure it's been a bit of a journey, but I'm sure, inshallah, it will be worthwhile. Jumaina, only 10 years of age, but practicing very much from the Quran. Has Jumaina been trying to memorize from the Quran?
Yes, she has so far memorized Juz Amma.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Alhamdulillah, very positive to hear. And is Jumaina, alongside her Quranic recitation and her Islamic studies, is she attending a state school or Islamic school?
No, she does attend an Islamic school in Luton.
In a full-time Islamic school?
Full-time Islamic
Okay,
school,
mashallah.
yes.
So I guess that allows her to further her studies a bit more
yes.
within her Quran and so on.
Yes.
I guess, alhamdulillah, that can be sometimes a bonus too. And at the same time, is she practicing at home?
Yes, I mean, I'm the one who teaches her.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah, very positive to hear.
Yeah.
And inshallah, I'm sure she's as positive as you are in her recitation today, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Jumaina.
Alaikum salam.
Jazakillahu khairan. And you look quite confident, as does your dad. Are you as confident?
Inshallah.
Inshallah, good answer. If I could kindly ask Sheikh Farouk to pick a part for young sister Jumaina to recite from.
Jumaina, could you recite from part 3, please?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الرحمن علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علمه البيان الشمس والقمر بحسبان والنجم والشجر يسجدان والسماء رفعها ووضع الميزان ألا تطغوا في الميزان وأقيموا الوزن بالقسط ولا تخسروا الميزان والأرض وضعها للأنام فيها فاكهة والنخل ذات الأكمام والحب ذو العصف والريحان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان خلق الإنسان من صلصال كالفخار وخلق الجان من مارج من نار فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان رب المشرقين ورب المغربين فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان.
Alhamdulillah, very well paced recitation, but inshallah let's turn to Sheikh Farooq inshallah for some brief feedback on the main recitation.
Jazakallah Zamaina, you recited well, mashallah. Thank you so much. Really good, mashallah. Thanks to your dad who taught you tajweed, mashallah. Makharij al-huruf is alhamdulillah is fine, good. Just only few things that is called, the after makharij, the sifatul huruf. When you recite, some letters have to pronounce a bit forcefully. For example, on najmu wash-shajaru, sheen and jim, both is a forceful letter. Because shadida, I think you didn't just learn that part. So when you pronounce these two letters, there are a number of letters should be forcefully pronounced. Wash-shajaru, I think a bit weak way just you did pronounce it. Then wa aqimul wazna, the za is forceful letters as well. Wa aqimul wazna is not lightly pronounced, it's just you have to force it. Wa aqimul wazna bil qisti. Okay, and the another one is wal habbu dhul asfi. The zal here, wal habbu dhul asfi. It was pronounced well, but I hope said that when you pronounce the letters should be pronounced the way it has to. For example, I mentioned few number of letters, and as you know, there are some letters when you pronounce it is a high intonation. Your voice should go up, and when you pronounce the letters, sometimes your voice go down. When you pronounce some letters, your voice is going to be the middle. If you know this sort of rules, then I'm sure Allah has given you a nice voice, mashallah, very nice voice. So if you practice this particular things what I have just noted down, I'm sure next time you will recite, everyone will enjoy it, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Okay.
Barakallahu feek to you, Sheikh Farooq. Alhamdulillah, very well given feedback. Jumaina, how do you feel after that? Good? Alhamdulillah. Thank you very much for your recitation. Jumaina, inshallah, you can return to your seat now. So, inshallah, let's move on to our next Qari of today's show. If I can kindly invite Nadi Khan to come and join me on stage, inshallah. Alhamdulillah, we have been blessed with a number of reciters from all across the country today. Some, of course, from north, some even closer to home. But Nadi, in this case, all the way from Luton, joining us today, 12 years old. Let's take a moment to briefly talk to Nadi's family, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Alhamdulillah, jazakallahu khairan for coming all the way from Luton. I'm sure it was a bit of a trek, but we're all here now. Alhamdulillah. Nadi, only 12 years of age, but looks quite confident for his age. How has Nadi been practicing during his time?
He's been practicing daily.
MashaAllah.
Thanks to my brother, his uncle,
MashaAllah.
Kari Mizan, for supporting him.
Alhamdulillah.
To prepare.
And is his teacher Qari and his uncle in this case, is he helping him with his memorization and his reading?
Yes.
Alhamdulillah. And is Nadi trying to memorize from the Quran too?
So far, mashallah, he's been memorizing 2 juz.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah, Alhamdulillah, very positive to hear. Jazakallahu khairan to you, Alhamdulillah. As you can see, all our students, talented all round, and of course, bringing the best of talent. Let's turn to Nadi now, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Nadi. Jazakallahu khairan. How are you feeling today, Nadi?
MashaAllah.
Confident?
Yep.
Alhamdulillah, good to hear. You seem very confident, folded arms, ready to recite. Inshallah, let's turn to Sheikh Mishkat to kind of pick a part for Nadi to recite from.
Nadi, I'd like you to recite from part 2, please.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله الذي أنزل على عبده الكتاب ولم يجعل له عوجا قيما لينذر بأسا شديدا من لدنه ويبشر المؤمنين الذين يعملون الصالحات أن لهم أجرا حسنا ماكثين فيه أبدا وينذر الذين قالوا اتخذ الله ولدا ما لهم به من علم ولا لآبائهم كبرت كلمة تخرج من أفواههم إن يقولون إلا كذبا فلعلك باخع نفسك على آثارهم إن لم يؤمنوا بهذا الحديث أسفا إنا جعلنا ما على الأرض زينة لها لنبلوهم أيهم أحسن عملا وإنا لجاعلون ما عليها صعيدا جرزا.
Okay, Nadi, Jazakallahu khairan. MashaAllah, you just finished well within your 2 minutes. Thank you very much for your recitation. Inshallah, if I could turn to Sheikh Mishkat to give some very, very brief feedback on Nadi's recitation.
Nadi, well done to you, MashaAllah. Alhamdulillah, at the tender age of 12 years old, Alhamdulillah, coming forward and reciting beautifully, MashaAllah. Well done to you. Just small advice to all of us here that are here, we all improving ourselves. So, inshallah, just a small piece of advice, inshallah. When you're reciting, inshallah, when you do a kasra, try to make it clear, inshallah. So when you say bakhi'un, you know, the kha needs to be clear, and also when you said walam, the wa was overstretched. So just be careful of not elongating a haraka. If it's a haraka, if it's fatha or kasra, keep it the same and do not overstretch it. Just be careful about that. And one rule that you need to learn is also, or practice, shall I say, maybe you know it, just practice more, is the idgham, inshallah. Idgham. So I think those are my advices, really small advice to you.
Barakallahu feek to you.
More or less, alhamdulillah, well done to you.
Alhamdulillah, barakallahu feek to Sheikh Mishkat. Alhamdulillah, some good advice. Nadi, will you be taking these things on board?
Yes.
Inshallah. Jazakallahu khairan, Nadi. You can return to your seat now. Alhamdulillah, halfway through already, having listened to our reciters who have recited exceedingly well. Let's move on to our next qari. In this case, let's turn to Shahriya Uddin to come and join me on stage, inshallah. Alhamdulillah, Shahriya, 13 years of age, from London, looking confident. Let's turn to Shahriya's family very briefly, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Jazakillahu khairan for bringing Shahriya with us today, inshallah. Shahriya, 13 years of age, looking confident. Is he confident?
Yeah.
Insha'Allah. Has Shahriar been practicing a lot during the holidays and during his time?
Yeah, last 2 weeks he has been working hard.
MashaAllah.
Every night before he goes to sleep, half an hour he read.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. He's reading regularly on a daily basis. And does he sit with anyone when he's reading, or does he read on his own?
All our family, my other 3 children and he and me, all of us.
You help. MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Jazakillahu khairan to you. Alhamdulillah, of course, as much as this is a competition, this is of course a reminder for us to be practicing more from our Quran on a regular basis. Shahriya, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. How are you feeling today?
Fine.
Alhamdulillah, good to hear. Have you practiced all your parts well?
Yeah.
Insha'Allah, good to hear that. You look confident. I'm sure you're confident. Let's turn to Sheikh Farooq to kindly pick a part for Shahriar to recite from.
Okay, Shahriar, could you recite from part 1, please?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام ميم ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين الذين يؤمنون بالغيب ويقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون والذين يؤمنون بما أنزل إليك وما أنزل من قبلك وبالآخرة هم يوقنون أولئك على هدى من ربهم وأولئك هم المفلحون إن الذين كفروا سواء عليهم أنذرتهم أم لم تنذرهم أم لم تنذرهم لا يؤمنون ختم الله على قلوبهم وعلى سمعهم وعلى أبصارهم غشاوة ولهم عذاب عظيم ومن الناس من يقول آمنا بالله وباليوم الآخر وما هم بمؤمنين يخادعون الله والذين آمنوا وما يخدعون إلا أنفسهم وما يشعرون.
Shahriya, Jazakallah khairan. I must stop you there as your 2 minutes is up, but mashallah, very well paced recitation. Let's go to Sheikh Farooq inshallah for a very brief feedback inshallah Shahriar's recitation.
Shahriar, Jazakallah khair. Thank you so much. You recited well, mashallah. May Allah accept your recitation and may Allah accept our just we are here to listen to your recitation, mashallah. May Allah accept all of us. And you recited well, mashallah. Just a few things I want to mention here. You need to be really careful when you are reciting the letters which are similar to others. For example, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. The ha will be the stress on the middle part of the throat. Middle part of the throat. Yes. So you didn't do it that much. So I would say that very carefully. And another one is Mimma razaqnahum. There's a qaf here. Qaf is very huruf musta'liya. You know the huruf musta'liya is high intonation. Razaq. And then another one is anzartahum. It was not clearly pronounced. Anzartahum. And another one is I would say that Oma hum bimu'minin. As you know, the ikfa there is the nun sakin ikfa and mim sakin ikfa. The nun sakin ikfa and mim sakin ikfa, there are a slight difference there. One is this mim sakin ikfa shafawi. It's not completely like other ikfa. Okay. Wama hum bimu'minin is just function with the lips as well. So first of all, I would say sifatul huruf and makharijul huruf is basic thing. You need to practice on that. Sure. And then afterwards, there are some letters. You need to be really careful while you pronounce it. The similar pronunciation ha and ha, qaf and kaf, and then ayn and hamza, these sort of letters
Inshallah,
need to be practiced more.
I think we will keep it there, as of course we are slightly short of time, but Jazakallahu khairan to Sheikh Farooq, of course, and thank you very much to Shahriya. Alhamdulillah, you put in your effort. You can return to your seat now, inshallah. Jazakallahu khairan once again. Let me call upon my next reciter after Shahriya. If I can kindly invite Yameen Abtahi Sarkar to come and join me on stage, inshallah. Alhamdulillah, Yameen, 12 years of age, but looking confident. Let's turn to Yameen's family quickly, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Jazakallah khairan for bringing Yameen with us today, inshallah. Alhamdulillah, Yameen looks confident. Is he as confident as he looks?
I'm not sure about that. He knows better than me.
Okay,
that should be inshallah.
Inshallah, that's good to hear. And has Yameen been practicing on a regular basis?
Not in front of me, by the way. I asked him to recite, he recites, but I haven't hardly seen him to practice. But I'm sure he'll do inshallah better. Inshallah.
So I guess it will be a surprise to us as much as it is to you, inshallah.
I think so, yeah. Just one quick say for everybody over here. Recitation is not only about recitation. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala الَّذِينَ آتَيْنَهُمُ الْكِتَابَ يَتْلُونَهُ حَقَّ تِلَاوَتِهِ. So the haqq of the tilawah has to be observed.
Of course, inshallah. Barakallahu feek. Some very good advice, inshallah, for all of us. Let's turn to Yameen now, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum assalam.
MashaAllah. Yameen, are you feeling confident today of your recitation?
Yes.
Inshallah, I hope you are. Let's turn to Sheikh Mishkat, inshallah, to kindly pick a part for Yameen to recite from.
Yameen, I'd like you to recite from part 3, please.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ياسين والقرآن الحكيم إنك لمن المرسلين على صراط مستقيم تنزيل العزيز الرحيم لتنذر قوما ما أنذر آباؤهم فهم غافلون لقد حق القول على أكثرهم فهم لا يؤمنون إنا جعلنا في أعناقهم أغلالا فهي إلى الأذقان فهم مقمحون وجعلنا من بين أيديهم سدا ومن خلفهم سدا فأغشيناهم فهم لا يبصرون وسواء عليهم أأنذرتهم أم لم تنذرهم لا يؤمنون إنما تنذر من اتبع الذكر وخشي الرحمن بالغيب فبشره بمغفرة وأجر كريم إنا نحن نحيي الموتى ونكتب ما قدموا وآثارهم وكل شيء أحصيناه في إمام مبين.
Sheikh Mishkat, inshallah, if we could get some very brief feedback before we go on a break, inshallah, of Yameen's recitation.
First of all, I'd like to say Allahu Akbar, really beautiful recitation, and mashallah to you and to all your efforts that you've made, alhamdulillah, and it's shown. You must have gone through a lot of practice, alhamdulillah, and well done to you. Recitation also emulate some of the mashayikh also who recite in terms of recitation and tone, mashallah, and mabruk, inshallah. Just a few things we're just going to advise you on, inshallah. Your hamza, when you are pronouncing, when you need to make like shay'in, you need to say the hamza clearly from the bottom of the throat near the chest, more next to the chest. So you need to clarify those hamzas. Not much to say, and sometimes I think there was a part when you say aghlalan. I think here there was a ikhfa mistake, and also mustaqim, your qaf. Sometimes you need to give the letters its due sound, inshallah. But very small mistakes, very minute. And well done to you to come up and recite beautifully.
I think some very good advice. Yameen, alhamdulillah, sounded very beautiful, and I'm sure you will be practicing more. If I could ask you to remain in your seat for a minute, inshallah, Yameen. Jazakallahu khairan. I will go on another very short break, but inshallah, join me again after the break again on GlobalAid Trust QFactor, where we still have a number of Qur'at to still listen to, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
يا أمتي القرآن حبل نجاتنا فتمسكي بعراه كي لا نغرقا.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to GlobalAid Trust QFactor, where we are in our final leg of today's journey, inshallah, to see who will be going through to the semi-finals. We have a few Qur'an still remaining, so inshallah I will head to my first Qari of this period, inshallah, by turning to Naimur Rahman Khan, who has already joined us on stage. But let's take a very brief moment to talk to his family, inshallah. To Naimur Rahman's family, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Jazakallahu khairan for joining us all day from Luton today. A number of families from Luton here today, alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, Naimur, 12 years of old, how has he been preparing for today?
He practicing a lot at home. My daughter help him.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah.
If you don't mind, can I give it to her? She gonna explain.
Inshallah, if you feel more comfortable doing this, of course. Alhamdulillah, of course. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah to you. Jazakillahu khairan. Of course, your father is saying that you have been helping your brother. Alhamdulillah, how has his progress been in his memorization?
He's improved a lot over the past few weeks. He's been practicing a lot too.
MashaAllah. And has he been trying to memorize from the Quran too?
Yeah, he's already memorized Juz'am.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Of course, is Naimur at the same time, does he attend a state school? Or
yeah, he attends a state school and he goes to an evening class too.
MashaAllah. So he's getting help in the evening class and at home from you. So MashaAllah, Jazakillahu khairan to you, and Jazakumullahu khairan to the entire family for your support towards our brother Naimur here, of course. Naimur, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum assalam.
MashaAllah, how are you feeling today?
Confident.
Alhamdulillah, good to hear that. If I can kindly turn to Sheikh Farouk to kindly pick a part for Naimur to recite from.
Alhamdulillah, Naimur, could you recite from part 3, please?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والسماء ذات البروج واليوم الموعود وشاهد ومشهود قتل أصحاب الأخدود النار ذات الوقود إذ هم عليها قعود وهم على ما يفعلون بالمؤمنين شهود وما نقموا منهم إلا أن يؤمنوا بالله العزيز الحميد الذي له ملك السماوات والأرض والله على كل شيء شهيد إن الذين فتنوا المؤمنين والمؤمنات ثم لم يتوبوا فلهم عذاب جهنم ولهم عذاب الحريق إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات لهم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار ذلك الفوز الكبير إن بطش ربك لشديد إنه هو يبدئ ويعيد.
Jazakallahu khairan, mashallah. Well done to you. I have to stop you there as your 2 minutes is up. But mashallah, very well paced recitation. Let's turn to Sheikh Farooq, inshallah, for some brief feedback on Naimur.
Jazakallah, Naimur. Thank you so much for recitation. This surah is really a bit one of the hardest surah for the reciter because there are a number of letters very similar to others. So, alhamdulillah, you didn't make any lahn jali mistake. You recited well. Just only lahn khafi, there are a few. Anyway, so I picked up here وَمَا نَقَمُوا وَمَا نَقَمُوا. The qaf is going to be pronounced a bit clear, more clear. It was a bit drowned. And then al-uqud and the qalqala letter. You did cite it well, but it need to be more clear. You recited well, mashallah. So if you look into this point, I am sure inshallah recitation will be much better. But only one thing is, this is a competition, so you have to recite sometimes up intonation, down intonation. We are just giving mark for different type of criteria. So your recitation absolutely fine, but for highest mark, for better mark, you have to practice more. Then I'm sure inshallah if you practice just few things, inshallah your recitation will be much better, inshallah.
Barakallahu feek to you, Sheikh Farooq. Alhamdulillah, some good advice, inshallah. Naimur, will you be practicing those things?
Yes.
Inshallah. Jazakallahu khairan, Naimur. Inshallah, you can return to your seat now. Let's turn to my next qariya. In this case, inshallah, if I can kindly invite Hafsa Muhammad Mia to come and join me on stage, inshallah. Hafsa Muhammad Mia, only 10 years of age, joining us all the way from Luton here in London today. Alhamdulillah, very good to see her on stage with us. Let's turn to Hafsa's family very briefly, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Jazakillahu khairan for joining us all the way from Luton today. Alhamdulillah, of course, Hafsa has made it from the live rounds to the quarterfinals. Alhamdulillah, has she been preparing well since the live rounds till now?
Yeah, yes.
Has she been practicing regularly her recitation?
Yes, every day. She's practicing with her dad.
MashaAllah. That's very positive to hear. Sometimes, of course, the fathers find it hard to make
Islamic
time.
school as well, going to Islamic school.
Okay, MashaAllah. So she's gaining all rounds, inshallah. Jazakallahu khairan. Of course, we will hear more from Hafsa's family, but let's turn to Hafsa now, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Hafsa.
Alaikum assalam.
Jazakallahu khairan for joining us. Have you prepared thoroughly for today?
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
Inshallah, good to hear. Let's turn to Sheikh Mishkat, inshallah, to kind of pick a part for Hafsa to recite from.
Hafsa, I'd like you to recite from part 2, please. Part 2.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله الذي أنزل على عبده الكتاب ولم يجعل له عوجا قيما لينذر بأسا شديدا من لدنه ويبشر المؤمنين الذين يعملون الصالحات أن لهم أجرا حسنا ماكثين فيه أبدا وينذر الذين قالوا اتخذ الله ولدا ما لهم به من علم ولا لآبائهم كبرت كلمة تخرج من أفواههم إن يقولون إلا كذبا فلعلك باخع نفسك على آثارهم إن لم يؤمنوا بهذا الحديث أسفا إنا جعلنا ما على الأرض زينة لها لنبلوهم أيهم أحسن عملا وإنا لجاعلون ما عليها صعيدا جرزا أم حسبت أن أصحاب الكهف والرقيم كانوا من آياتنا عجبا.
Hafsa, Jazakillahu khairan. I'm very sorry. I know you want to carry on, but I must stop you as your 2 minutes is up. But mashallah, well done for your recitation. Let me inshallah turn to Sheikh Mishkat inshallah for some brief feedback on Hafsa's recitation.
Alhamdulillah, mashallah to you. I was just conferring with the other judge and also myself. I'm just thinking, mashallah, it was very hard to find any small, even minute mistake. Mashallah, well done to your recitation, very clear. Alhamdulillah, your makharij, your letters are clear. Alhamdulillah. So a bit of advice would be just to work on your beautifying your recitation a little bit more, maybe listen to some more CDs or things like that, but very small things. I mean, you recited really well, mashallah.
Mashallah.
And well done to you, ahsanti. And also maybe in the beginning you felt a bit less confident, but towards the end you started getting more confident. I could see that, and that we've taken that into account as well. So well done to you, mashallah.
Barakallahu feek to you, Sheikh Mishkat, and alhamdulillah, of course we saw that she was growing more confident to the extent that I had to stop her, inshallah. But jazakallahu khairan to you, Hafsa. Feeling good after that?
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, positive marks from the judges? Alhamdulillah, good to hear that. Inshallah, you can return to your seat now. We are coming to a very close end to today's show by calling upon our last Qari of today. Inshallah, if I can kindly invite Ashraf Bana to come and join me on stage, inshallah. MashaAllah, a young brother Ashraf, only 11 years of age, from London. Let's see how Ashraf's family are today, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Jazakallahu khairan for joining us today. Alhamdulillah, Ashraf seems to look quite confident with a smile on his face. Is he as confident as he looks?
Absolutely fantastic.
Inshallah, inshallah, good to hear that. And has Ashraf been practicing regularly during his time?
Normally, Ashraf, I read with him Quran every day since he was at the age of 5.
MashaAllah.
But his regular teacher now for the last 1 year prepared to come to this stage for this Qira'at is his uncle. Also, he's my cousin, Mr. Muhammad, who is sitting next to me.
MashaAllah. Alhamdulillah, very positive to hear that. And I'm sure, inshallah, his uncle will be listening very eagerly to see
I prefer also if he has his own word to say, I will welcome him here.
Inshallah, if we could have a very brief word if you have something to say.
Inshallah, alhamdulillah, I don't have much to say. Ashraf, I hope he's going to do
inshallah, barakallahu feek. I'm sure, of course, the family's hard work will pay off today, inshallah. Ashraf, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum salam.
How are you feeling today?
Alhamdulillah.
Good?
Yeah.
Got the support of your family, it seems. Are you supporting yourself?
Yeah.
Inshallah, good to hear that. Can I kindly turn to Sheikh Farouk to kindly pick a place for Ashraf to recite from?
Ashraf, could you recite from part 3, please?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سأل سائل بعذاب واقع للكافرين ليس له دافع من الله ذي المعارج تعرج الملائكة والروح إليه في يوم كان مقداره 50,000 سنة فاصبر صبرا جميلا إنهم يرونه بعيدا ونراه قريبا يوم تكون السماء كالمهل وتكون الجبال كالعهن ولا يسأل حميم حميما يبصرونهم يود المجرم لو يفتدي من عذاب يومئذ ببنيه وصاحبته وأخيه وفصيلته التي تؤويه ومن في الأرض جميعا ثم ينجيه كلا إنها لظى نزاعة للشوى تدعو من أدبر وتولى وجمع فأوعى إن الإنسان خلق هلوعا إذا مسه الشر جزوعا وإذا مسه الخير منوعا إلا المصلين.
Ashraf, Jazakallahu khairan, mashallah. It seemed like you were walking in the park. It didn't even seem, it seemed effortless in my opinion. But of course, inshallah, let's turn to Sheikh Farouk for some very, very brief feedback, inshallah.
No, alhamdulillah, Ashraf recited really well, mashallah. It's a nice voice,
mashallah.
Very powerful voice, mashallah.
Alhamdulillah.
And you recited really, really well. Alhamdulillah. Just only the beautification, I would say, you have to more practice on Iqfa. Iqfa is, if anyone practice Iqfa, then it's his recitation will be more beautiful. Okay, there are some Iqfa, idgham. If you have practice, if you do properly, definitely recitation will be more better. For example, وَمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ وَمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ, it was a bit less. So if you make it proper, then definitely it will be more beautiful, inshallah. Adbara, this dal you pronounce it is a qalqala, but is more clear. It was not a bit clear. And musallin, the one since Swad is a high intonation letter and high voice, high pitch. There is a huruka mustaliya. So illa musallin, if you say musallin, then it's going to be much better. Thank you so much. We did enjoy your recitation. Next time you will do better, inshallah. And then you think that when you're reciting Iqfa and Idgham, you never ever miss it. If anyone, not only you, anyone practice Iqfa and Izhar more, then it's going to be your recitation will be more beautiful.
Barakallah fiqh to you, Sheikh Farooq. I think some very good advice. Ashraf, how do you feel after that? Good? Alhamdulillah. Jazakallah khairan, Ashraf. You can kindly return to your seat now. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, as you can see today, challenging as every other day for the judges. Of course, my beloved viewers, you can see that the competition is fierce as always, and I'm sure my live audience even here will agree with the same thing. Alhamdulillah, let me see with them, inshallah. Alhamdulillah, did we have a good show today? Alhamdulillah, jazakumullahu khairan. I'm sure everyone here enjoyed as much as I did. I will give some brief moments, inshallah, to my judges to tally up the total marks, inshallah. As much as it is a hard job, of course, we have to give them the shukr, the thanks for their hard efforts in helping us come to a conclusion. Of course, as you can see, all of our contestants much ready as any other qurra, of course, who is performing live on stage. But of course, in a competition, sometimes there are those, of course, who go through to the next round, and sometimes in some cases they don't go through. But of course, as much as we know that a competition is only the stepping stone to start our career in making sure that we continue in a very successful manner, and I'm sure everyone here today knows that they did fantastically, and they will be going home and keeping up with their hard work, inshallah. Judges, do we have a total?
30 seconds, please.
Inshallah, I can give you 30 seconds. Of course, before we call an end to today's show, thanking GlobalAid, of course, who has brought this show, we must take into consideration, of course, what the Quran is bringing to us. Of course, the whole point of this show is, as you can see, a competition. But of course, does it mean that it is only a competition? I'm sure my families here will, of course, not just solely agree that it is a competition. At the end of the day, it is an opportunity for these children to be making sure that they continue on a daily basis with the Quran, with the Qira'ah of the Quran rather, so that, of course, they are one day our future of our community. And of course, if we are helping them at this tender age, everyone here below the age of 15 today reciting, some as young as 9, and I'm sure every single family here will agree that this is the beginning of a very successful future in helping and serving the community, inshallah, bi'idhnillah. Judges, we are very short of time, and I'm sure it is a very hard job, and I am very aware of that. But of course, my viewers are at home are waiting very eagerly. Do we have a conclusion to today's show?
Yeah.
Inshallah, Ustaz, I hope it has not caused problems between you two, because I'm sure it's very fierce, challenging who comes through. But of course, inshallah, if I can turn to Sheikh Mishkat to kindly call out the winners of today's episode from third to first, inshallah.
Okay, I'll just start off with third position of today's winners is Ashraf Bana.
MashaAllah.
MashaAllah to you, well done to you. That's third position. Second was Jumaina Islam.
MashaAllah.
Jumaina Islam. Well done to you, Ahsanti. And first position today was Yamin Abtahi Sarkar. Yamin,
MashaAllah.
Well done to you.
Alhamdulillah, those are the 3 winners of today. Mabruk to all of you. If I can call your name out, and if you can raise your hands briefly, so that of course our viewers at home can differentiate, of course, who is who. Our third place today, inshallah, Ashraf Bana, alhamdulillah. And in second place, Jumaina Islam. And in first place, Yamin Abtahi Sarkar, alhamdulillah. Let me have a very brief word with my winners today, inshallah. Ashraf, alhamdulillah, you had a very long wait to come and recite last today, but alhamdulillah, you are one of our winners today. How do you feel after that?
Good, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Will you be continually practicing with your uncle now?
Yes.
And will you be giving both your uncle and your father a very big hug today, inshallah?
Yeah.
Inshallah, jazakallah khairan. If I can go to Jumaina Islam very quickly too. Jumaina, alhamdulillah, came all the way from Hitchin today. A very long journey, but I'm sure your dad will be very pleased to know that you went through today. Will you be stepping up your game? Will you be practicing even more now, or are you going to be relaxing now?
Inshallah, I'll be practicing.
Practicing even more. Good answer, inshallah. And if I could kindly pass the mic to Yameen Abtai Sarkar quickly, so we can have a very brief word with Yameen, inshallah. How do you feel after your recitation?
I feel really happy.
Alhamdulillah. Are you going to be keeping up with your efforts now?
Yes, inshallah.
Inshallah. Please do thank your dad for his hard efforts, because of course I'm sure they are very supportive. Jazakumullahu khairan for everyone. And of course, my judges, Jazakumullah khairan, I'm sure it is a very hard decision to always come to. But of course, we have come to an end to today's show. Day 6 has come to an end, but we will be back next week for day 7, where we will listen to some of the remaining Qurra who are slowly coming to an end. But from ourselves here in the studio, from myself, Qari Murshid Habib, from my beloved judges, and of course from my live audience here and the hard-working people in the studio, Jazakumullahu khairan. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
يا أمتي القرآن حبل نجاتنا فتمسكي بعراه كي لا